power rankings, man. Yeah, who's your top 5 power rankings right now?
Top 5 power rankings. Where do you want me to start? I guess I'll start with number 5.
Of course.
Number 5.
Keep it suspenseful here, man.
Number 5.
Okay.
Oklahoma City, baby. That team rolling. Believe they're third. I'm trying to pull up the standings with this poor internet service I have right now.
This
guy
Alex stole my fifth. Stole my fifth to you. I had the same thing.
Okay.
Oh, I stole your 5th. Well, this is payback for me giving the Houston Rockets last week. Don't worry, Andrew. So I got OKC third in the West. They've been playing good, man. 10-4 right now. They're rolling. So I like the way they're playing. And with Chet back, they're so dynamic, man. I'm looking forward to the future of that team. They're so young. You got a good core with Shea, Chet. You got Giddey out there. You got Jay Williams. I mean, I like how Lou Dort is just that defensive guy, that defensive presence that you need. They got a good team over there, man. I really like what they have going. Number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I got them. Yep. Got them there. Unfortunately, they had to beat our Knicks, CP, but they are a strong team. Their defense is insane. That wing presence is remarkable. And just Anthony Edwards, man. I love his competitiveness, man. There's very few people who have that dog in them that's like they show up every single night. They don't care who's on the other side of the court. They just want to beat you down. I mean, the comments that he had about Draymond Green to start off the season where he's like, Draymond just talks enough and he just wants to beat him in the playoffs. That's the stuff that I like. Give me Ant-Man and that team. I got them number 4. 76ers are going to be my third team just because I do like the way the Maxey and Embiid are working together. I like them developing that pick and roll chemistry. They're 10-4 in the Eastern Conference. I think they're a better team than Milwaukee right now, just because they play better defense. They got good scoring. I like their depth. They're more athletic than Milwaukee. So I like the Sixers. I have the Sixers at number 3. Number two, the reigning champs. They do not have Jamal Murray, but I do like the Denver Nuggets at number 2. They're still rolling. I like that Reggie Jackson has helped them keep that same beat. Obviously, you got Jokic, who's going to be the force out there, but Reggie Jackson, that starting lineup, they're still rolling 10-4 on the season. I got them at number 2. And then number 1, I hate saying it, but it is the Boston Celtics. That team is just on another level with how they play offense, defense. They're rolling at 11-3. Best record right now out there in the NBA. They're a tough matchup, man. They're tough to beat. I mean, that starting 5 is just doing some historic things right now just by the advanced stats, and it matches what we're seeing on the court.
Andrew, how about you?
Yeah, it's close to that. I think me and Al just flip-flop Milwaukee and Minnesota, but it's basically the same thing. I got OKC, and I've been saying this for a long time. Like, even before the season, Chet just fills a gap that they needed, that pick and pop big, that rim protector, and he's even showing some stuff off the dribble. So, yeah, he's been like the missing piece, and then SGA just playing like a top 10 or so, maybe even 5 or so NBA player. Phenomenal. Milwaukee still got some things to figure out. It hasn't been seamless with Dame and Giannis, but they're obviously still a legit contender. I got them at 4. Minnesota. Again, Al, spot on. Not only the elite mentality, but the elite athleticism and skill level on top of it. I mean, Anthony Edwards is the real deal, and Rudy is playing way better than last year. I don't know if he's feeling better. He's looking more like Utah Rudy, and Cat's not quite shooting like Cat, but it hasn't hurt the team at all. And they've been, playing at a very high level. Denver, they have the best player in the NBA, and I think this is actually a blessing in disguise for their younger players with Jamal Murray being out. They can get some more game experience, because while their starting 5 has been elite from the beginning of the year, I think their bench could use a little bit of help, and they're going to need all these young players to get some reps. So I do actually think it helps them in the long run. And just like Al, like Boston, undeniable, best record in the league. They're playing great, and Porzingis is starting to look like their number 2 guy. I don't know, man. Like, I love Jaylen Brown, but Porzingis is playing at a very high level. Obviously, they added Drew Holiday, and he could punish defenses on both sides of the floor come playoff time. Love everything Boston's doing. And Jason Tatum also seemed like he, maybe not a huge leap, but how much of a leap could you take when, you're one of the best players in the league? Seemed like he got a little bit better as well. I like Boston at number 1.
All right, good list. Good list. Here's where I'm going. I'm shaking things up, man. I shook things up last week. I'm shaking things up again this week. Number 5,
The
I rock,
Trailblazers.
I rock with Chet Heavy. I rock with OKC. I'm going with Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
I'm giving Dame and the Freak some accolades here. 5 straight wins. I think they're starting to heat up a little bit, especially on the offensive end. You have Giannis with consecutive with multiple 40-point games. He's starting to heat up. Dame is starting to get on the same page. We'll see if their defense can keep up a little bit. But 5 straight wins. They're hot right now, so I got to give them the respect. So I'll put them at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go Philly. I'll go Philly at number 4. Obviously, with Embiid and Maxey, I want to see them win a little bit bigger games. They got a big test against Boston tonight. So let's start tonight and see how they do against the Celtics. But for right now, I'm putting Philly at number 4. Number 3, I'm going with the champs. Champs at number 3. Even without Jamal Murray, as you said, Al, you got Reggie Jackson doing a commendable job. They're leaning on their depth. They're still 10-4. You know, they might hit a little rough patch right now, but this is still the champs. We're going to put some respect on their name, and I think they'll be just fine. I'm putting them at 3. Number 2, Celtics. I'm putting the Celtics at number 2. They just lost to the Charlotte Hornets on Monday night. I'm knocking them down a peg, just a peg, because at number 1, I'm putting Minnesota right there, man.
Wow.
I'm putting Minnesota up there. Defense wins games. This is the number 1 defense in the NBA right now. You got Gobert playing like he's back to being the Stifle Tower. Karl Anthony Towns is playing good defense. Before he went down, you got Jaden McDaniels, Ant-Man playing the way that they're playing. They have the better depth than Boston right now, coming off the bench. And Ant-Man, X Factor, superstar. He's ready to go in prime time. I don't have to worry about him in crunch time. Ant-Man is ready to go. I'm giving Minnesota the respect as long as they deserve it. 9 out of the last 10 they've won, and they're taking care of business. You got to take care of business against the Charlotte Hornets, man. Don't tell me that you're the best team in the NBA and you can't take care of LaMelo and those guys who are trying to lose. I'm going Minnesota at number 1, and I'm going with Boston at number 2. And I'm ready to see how these guys play against each other. Boston's got a couple of interesting games coming up on the schedule because they got Milwaukee tonight. Then they have, let's take a look at Boston's schedule real quick, because they got a couple of interesting games coming up. They got Milwaukee tonight. Then they are at Orlando. Orlando's playing pretty tough. Put some respect on their name. Only 5 losses. And then they see Philly on December 1st. Back-to-back games against Cleveland. Then back-to-back games against Orlando. At Golden State, at Sacramento, at Clippers, at Lakers. So Boston's got some interesting games between now and Christmas, really. You know, the only real, gimme games you would say in that stretch is home against Atlanta and home against Chicago. But after that, it gets pretty rough. It gets pretty rough for Boston, man. So going to be interesting.
So CP, are you the big believer in Ant-Man that he is the next face of the NBA?
Yeah. Well, we talked about that on the NBA report. I think he will be the face of the NBA. Yeah. Remember we talked about that with that guy Mo Muncy over the summer.
Yes.
We did say at least he will be the next American-born face of the league, sure. But also in terms of marketability, yeah.
We put out so much content, man. I can't remember all of it.
Yeah, I know.
We put out so much great content, it's hard to remember.
Yeah, I think he will be, man. I think he will be.
Does he, and this is for both of you, do you feel like when you watch Ant-Man, he gives you like that Kobe Jordan vibe? Like he's out there, he's a killer, not afraid of anybody. He's going to make the big shot. That's the guy you're going to lean on.
Yeah. Man.
Right now, I trust him. I think I trust him more than Tatum right now.
I was good. Okay, there we go. This is the conversation I want to have right now. I'm glad that you said that.
I like his game better than Tatum, me personally.
In a big spot, I think I'm going Ant-Man.
Here we go. I'm glad you said that, CP. Okay. Does Tatum have a short window then for both of you? Because I feel like there's so much, and here's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Look, Tatum right now, everyone has him like one of the best players in the league, all that. His game is flashy. I know that to the T, especially because I live out here. I have to hear about it more than I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I feel like Ant-Man is very close to reaching. I know he's not close to reaching his peak, but I think his talent it could surpass Tatum in a shorter amount of time, especially with the team that they have. And so I wonder if Tatum has a shorter window to actually get that chip that he wants because Ant-Man's on the way.
Yeah, like I've never been the biggest Tatum guy, me personally. And I would say, like, just talking to people around the league, Tatum doesn't strike fear in people like that. Like, he's a great player, but he doesn't really strike fear in you. The way Ant-Man, that trajectory he's on right now, he's going to be striking fear.
Yeah,
in a lot of teams in the NBA.
That's how I see it, man. I think he's here and he's the here and now. I think Ant-Man's going to be the next face.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's between, like, obviously Luka. I mean, Jokic is not like a face type personality.
Right.
Luka will be in the mix, and Wemby's going to be in the mix eventually. I think.
Yeah, sure.
So it's between those guys, but I definitely think the NBA would like to have like an American star, right, be the face. So I think Anthony Edwards is on that trajectory to be just that.
No question,
man. We already saw Kermit take down Bo Cruz in Hustle, so he's got to take over the league now.
He did great in that, by the way. Great,
fantastic job. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Ant-Man definitely did his thing in that. No question about it.